So in the beginning of the 20th century, there were fewer than 60 Cape Mountain zebras left in the wild. Due to conservation efforts, their numbers have increased to over 5,000. But their fight for survival continues. A lack of a suitable habitat, as well as a lack of genetic diversity in the three isolated populations, now threatens this iconic zebra species once again.
Gamkaberg is an isolated mountain range in the Little Karoo, lying between the Swartberg and Outeniqua mountains. It is also home to the endangered Cape Mountain zebra. Cape Mountain zebras are different from the ordinary plain zebra. It is the smallest of all existing zebra species, has solid stripes, and they also depend on a specific habitat for survival. In 1974, the Gamkaberg Nature Reserve was established to conserve this naturally occurring Cape Mountain zebra population.
The challenge with the zebra is when the reserve was established, I think the zebra were being hunted by, the farmers of the time. They were competing with the domestic stock and didn't really have much use for the farmers. So they were shot out, and the zebra retreated into the mountains. And when conservationists realized that these animals needed protection, they were finding them in the mountains, so they thought, okay, well, these are mountain animals, they're restricted to the mountains. And so mountainous areas were sort of declared as reserves to protect them. And then much later, we found out that, well, these animals like to go onto the flats as well at certain times of the year. And now the challenge is to expand the reserve, to capture some of these low-lying areas, to allow the zebra to go back to their sort of migratory patterns and utilize the lowland areas.
The area is also an arid zone flora biodiversity hotspot, and prime conservation land has been bought up since 2002 by the Worldwide Fund South Africa, with funds donated by the Leslie Hill Succulent Karoo Trust.
With Gamkaberg, we expanded about 10,000 hectares by purchasing land. And the focus was on critical areas, in the case of Gamkaberg, for the zebra to expand the habitat. And that's been over about 10 to 15 years that that's happened. And we hand over the management of the property to Cape Nature in this case. That's a management authority, but WWF keeps the ownership of the land.
Working closely with WWF South Africa, Cape Nature has found an innovative way to achieve further conservation protection through their biodiversity stewardship program. Landowners, be they individuals, communities or companies, undertake to protect and manage their properties or parts thereof according to sound conservation management principles while still retaining ownership.
The majority of landowners entering into a stewardship program with Cape Nature are doing so because they have a love for nature and they would like to see the farm looked after and thinking of the future generations. So they enter into an agreement with Cape Nature to help them to look after the land. And Cape Nature provides advice and support. We also draw up a management plan for the landowners. And we, with our partners, provide some funding assistance to assist landowners in implementing management activities on the properties. And these could range from anything like alien clearing projects to erosion control, fence removal, putting up fencing, fire breaks, and so on.
The mountainous terrain in the Gamkaberg Nature Reserve is rugged with deep ravines. Over the years, the animals adapted to the mountainous habitat and blend seamlessly with their environment, making them extremely difficult to find. This sensitive environment with its unique biodiversity is essential for the survival of this zebra species.
The Cape Mountain zebra of Gamkaberg Nature Reserve are very important and unique in terms of their contribution to Cape Mountain zebra conservation in South Africa as a whole. They represent 1/3 of the gene pool of the almost 6,000 Cape Mountain zebra in South Africa. At the turn of the century, there was roughly 60 Cape Mountain zebra in the three relic populations at Kraddock, Kamanasi and Gamkaberg. Where they still remain isolated today. The population at Gamkaberg is small. There are at least 25 animals. They don't have a very high breeding rate. And because they hold this unique genetic material, they can contribute to restore a certain amount of genetic diversity within the whole population and thereby increase resistance to environmental change in the long run.
The recently approved Cape Mountain Zebra Biodiversity Management Plan will ensure that individual animals from the 3 Cape Mountain zebra populations will be moved to supplement genetic diversity. And with the cooperation of landowners, NGOs and conservation organizations, the land with its unique biodiversity needed will remain under conservation, ensuring the long-term survival of the Cape Mountain zebra. Linkie Bierman, SABC News, Gamkaberg, Klein Karoo.
SABC is the official